What's up, killers? Aha! You didn't see that coming. Gotta shuffle up the intros to keep things interesting, you know. I'm Azard, and today we're going to take a look at this new campaign rebirth mythic Aravatar, or something like that. This troop deals magic +4 true damage to an enemy boosted by its life. If the enemy dies, explode all death mark gems. And the third trait, Light's End, is the unique third trait which converts 2 yellow gems to death mark gems when your turn begins. This actually has a slight looping potential. If you have to, pass your turn a few times, those yellow gems are going to be converted to death mark gems, and once you kill the enemy, this troop explodes all those death mark gems. So if you want to make this troop actually work, well, you have to buff his life in some way, and that is what we are going to focus today. So jargon incoming. If you wanna skip that, feel free to use the timestamps into video. Right, so first of all, this has the huge trait that gains 2 life on 4 or 5 gem matches. That helps, of course. And this troop actually has that immune to death mark warrior trait too, which helps as well. In this first team we are going to focus, or let's say I'm going to think this if I was a beginner or a mid-level player. Beginner or mid-level players don't have lots of magic, so they can't actually go and use gem destroyers like Merilith or Troll to spam the board, because those troops aren't going to work if you don't have high magic. And if you don't have lots of global stats, your Aravatar won't do high magic. So what we are going to do, we are going to use Yasmine's Sprite weapon, which eliminates all armor from an enemy. And then it gives all allies magic +1 life, which is boosted by the armor eliminated, and the boost ratio 3:1. You don't need to have high magic to make this weapon work. It scales with the enemy armor. And you can use this 4 times, of course. You can eliminate all the armor from 4 enemy troops. Of course, you can use it even more if they have summon ability in their teams. But this is what we are going to use. We are going to use this weapon to provide higher life and then deal higher true damage to an enemy, hopefully one-shotting them. And if we still stay in the area of pretending we are beginner or mid-level players, you don't have again magic to create to have a great mana generation. So this is where this Netherborn Hunter comes into play. He creates 1 elemental star and 1 more for every green allies. 1, 2, 3, 4 green allies, and then 1 more for every 3 green gems on the board. This is where the archer class comes into play, because of the leaf storm. Wait, what? Oh, right. Whoops. Okay, there it is. Okay, so archers start with 50% mana, which helps, and has root trap to protect us in the start of the fight, and that nature's aura that creates a leaf storm at the start of the battle. And one more thing about this Natureborn Hunter: if the enemy has a beast, this troop gains extra turn automatically. Normally I would say that you would the best place to explore would be Mogrim Woods, because it has 16 or 17 beast troops, but the late arrival of Inari is something that we really hate. That troop is annoying to deal with, so we are going to explore in the Urskaya, because Urskaya has 8 beast troop types, and maybe you get lucky and can fight against a beast troop type like this Urskayan blue here. Right, The game plan is very simple. Cast Leprechaun, spam Natureborn Hunter, rip the armor to buff your Aravatar's life, and of course you will buff everyone else's life, and then deal heavy true damage. Let's try this in practice. And if your global stats are low, you might have to cast your weapon a few times in order to get that boost ratio to high. My boost ratio right now is 81. Let's see what happens once we get our things going. There. And because of Erskine and Blue, we get an automatic extra turn. Now we can take that and that too. And let's see, we are going to rip your armor because you have the most. There. We had 81 and now we are going to deal 141 true damage plus our magic based true damage. So that would be 206 in total, and that is, in my case of course, enough to kill any one of these troops, even if they had some sort of spell reduction. Of course, if they have like 50%, then I'm excuse me, then I'm in problems. But right now we can go and take care of you first. And there was, wow, yeah, there's the looping potential actually. All those dead mark gems were exploded and I actually able to keep my turn. Let's try if we can generate mana. Let's try again. And you obviously want to leave this beast troop type as last so that your Natureborn Hunter gets that automatic extra turn. And now just let's take care of him. Right, let's try another fight and see if we can speed this up a little bit. I have a couple more teams by the way, so stay in touch, don't go anywhere. Explode the board and take extra turns. Right, and do they have beast? They don't actually have, but that's no biggie. Let's take your armor. Hope that Leafstone carries us. It doesn't actually. We do that. And that. How about now? Yep. Okay, and I think I want to kill you. You are not that bad. I want to keep the entangle on. Yeah, you're going. Wow, take it, that was nice explosion there. Let's try to keep our turn. Yes, works well. Take care of you. One skull poke or spell cast and you are gone. There. Alright, that kind of thing. So you might be wondering right now, what if I get inflicted of those dead marked gems? This team here doesn't have any kind of cleanse option here. So I thought about that and went this route here. This is actually pretty speedy in overall. We are using the Wand of Stars, again, surprise surprise, to create mana. And this has the Bless All Allies ability, so if you get inflicted by death mark, you can just cast your weapon and bless all your allies. Works wonders with the mana generation, and what we are going to do here, we are going to use Vanessa to bump up the life of all allies. This troop deals damage to an enemy equal to their attack. And then it gives magic +1 life to all allies, which is boosted by the damage dealt. And the boost ratio is 3:1. So this will actually buff up your Aravatar quite heavily, in fact, right off the bat, because this starts with Empower trait, so start battles with full mana. Same deal, cast Leprechaun, generate mana. Well, actually cast Leprechaun, cast Vanessa, and then generate mana to your Aravatar, and get rid of the enemies with one shot. If you have to, then you are going to cast Faunus a couple more times to buff up the life enough. Let's try this team in practice. Cast left. Wand is up, and now we are going to take you. Yes, we are going to take you there. And now we have, oh wow, look at that, 119 boost plus the additional 68 true damage. So just get our Aravatar up, deal damage, spam the weapon, deal very little true damage, and look at that, we kept our turn. We can now cast Leprechaun instead. We kept our turn again, rolling well, and now cast the weapon to do the final blow. Right, that works well. And again, if you have to, you can use Faunus to heal your allies if they take some damage, or in case your Aravatar isn't doing lethal true shot. Cast left. And who has the highest attack? You. Whoops. By the way, I'm using Elementalist here to add some protection. Instead Archer, we can, you know, get that freeze and entangle and other nasty things on the enemy. And most importantly, protect our hero up top there. Cast the weapon. And do that heavy true damage. But wow, we're rolling very well. One formats there and Aravatar is up. One thing, by the way, this huge trait here, gain 2 life on 4 or 5 gem matches. You can basically just spam your weapon and get your life up enough to deal very heavy true damage. Plenty of ways to get that life up, you know. And one more final blow. And then we can take a look at the last fight, last team for the remaining fights. Mini-boss fight. So here we have again option to, you know, cleanse those possible death marks from our allies. Here we are using Divinia, who explodes all red gems and cleanses all allies and gives them magic +1 life. Again, we are buffing the life to make to do heavier true damage. And well, Divinia, you should know this is pretty good troop. Gone slightly off the radar lately, but this used to be very, very good troop. And instead to wand, we are using Celestial Flask here. Create 3 potions of either blue, green, red, yellow or purple and gains an automatic extra turns. And what we are going to do here is cast Leprechaun to get things going, then either cast Flask or Divinia to generate mana for Aravatar. And you have to cast Divinia at least once to get the life high enough. Depending on your stats, you have to spam it a little bit more if your Global stats are lower than mine. And when using this kind of setup, that you are using the Celestial Flask and then Exploder, like Divinia or Leprechaun, then it is always good to remember that before you, for example now, before I would cast Leprechaun, we can just cast our wand. There. Create those, and once I explode these green gems with Leprechaun, these 2, for example, here are going to be exploded and they are going to create blue potions and possibly keep my turn. There. Yes, we got an extra turn with the blue gems, and now our Aravatar is only going to do 80 true damage boost plus that 65 over there, which isn't enough to kill those. So what we're going to do, we again cast our Celestial Flask and then explode red gems, and hopefully we keep our turn. We incredibly enough missed, but now we are able to do heavy enough true damage to get rid of most of these enemies. Unless they have spell reduction. You don't, so we are going to deal with... Actually, we are going to deal with you first. There. Great potions. Explode red gems. Hopefully we keep our turn. Yes, now we kept, and then we are going to deal with you. And now there are some death mark gems again. Create those, and we are going to explode greens this time. Here and here, and they are going to match those blue gems. And hopefully we keep our turn. Yes. There, let's get some life boost. Can we finally do an Aravatar cast? Yes. This is not exactly very speedy team. None of these actually. But they are working ones, you know. Let's try this last battle. Kurandara. Again, if we get inflicted by the curse, we can always just cleanse ourselves with Tivinia. Great potions. Do that. Wow. Okay, our luck can't carry us all day. Explode those. And those explosions, by the way, inflict enemies with the death mark. I think we are going to get rid of Kurandara here. There. Goodbye, my friend. Great potions. Explode board. Hope for extra turns that we don't get. But even just spamming the board pretty mindlessly, you are going to get your troops up and be able to deal that very heavy true damage there. And you have lots of survivability because of that life boost there too. You're gone. And now you are gone too. Goodbye. That kind of themes. This is not completely useless troop. Of course, for someone who likes to grind trophies, etc., this isn't going to do much, because this is a little bit too slow for that kind of thing, for that kind of usage. But in case you are a starting player and you have bought the Combat Pass, I hope this helps you to get something out of your new mythic troop. That's all for today. Stay safe and peace.